Hey, you look like Danny Zuko. Welcome.
I mean, I had to dress appropriately. I'm in the presence here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You grew up in a part Italian, part Irish family. You grew up in Jersey, and then moved to New York when you started acting. Like, you had to have grown up around some
yeah, I mean, we were very familiar with the folklore and the historical moments of the mob.
Yeah.
Especially latter day ones with Gotti.
Yeah.
Were in the newspaper all the time and what have you. So, but that being said, I don't ever remember Capone or Dillinger ever being as loved as John Gotti.
Yeah.
So I was very curious about why that was, and I did quite a bit of research on why he was so loved.
You're playing a guy who did a lot of bad things, but at the same time, it's a movie about him. So how do you find that balance?
It's all a relativity, really. If you think about the bad things that John Gotti might do or within a moral code of guys that did that to each other if they broke La Cosa Nostra rules or they broke the integrity of the mob. So that was an agreement with that group.
Yeah.
So, live by the sword, die by the sword, they think. Now, the family side was what they had a relatively normal family life as far as the love, the commitment to the kids, and trying to keep it separate from the rough side.
And you played a few gangsters throughout your career, of course. Vega in Pulp Fiction, and then in Get Shorty, and now Gotti. But they're all very different gangsters.
Yeah, they're different. They're very different.
What is it about playing gangsters? I mean, for you as an actor, how fun is that?
Well, I like to differentiate every character.
Yeah.
In this one, because he's an actual historical, last modern gangster that will ever be.
Yeah.
Because since the RICO law, the mob is kind of over.
Yeah.
So that was intriguing because that was different. So I like to look at what the differences are.
Speaking of Pulp Fiction, I have to ask you, I'm sure you've seen it and been asked about it a million times, but the confused Travolta meme, I mean, out of all the movies you've done, you're a meme. You've made it.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
What's your have you seen all the different iterations of that people have done?
It's so much fun to watch him, whether he's in the ocean looking around or whether he's in somebody's office. I mean, I love those things. They make iconic moments that in your career live on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of iconic moments, it's the Grease 40th anniversary, which is kind of insane. You were recently asked about another kind of pop culture thing with the ending and the car and that weird kind of fan theory about Sandy being dead and having drowned. I'm more interested in what your interpretation of the car taking off.
Oh, me, I'm a pilot, so I just thought it was cool that a car flew.
Yeah.
I mean, here I am, and I'm pulling back on the steering wheel as though it were a yoke. Yeah. And I remember being with Olivia, and I don't know if you see my arm, but I'm pulling back on it as though that's lifting the car into the air.
Yeah.
So I was taking it for face value. This is a cool car that flies.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. That was it. I have no further interpretation, but I don't mind people coming up with whatever they want to, just like what's in the suitcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It's your ideas, your interpretation.
Well, cool. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome,
I appreciate
man.
it.
You're welcome, Danny.